Good morning, kids. Today's session is known as Polaroid Snaps, and I'll be teaching you how to capture your most important memories in the form of a painting. I hope all of you know what a Polaroid snap is. If you look at this picture, you'll probably have seen it before. So, to begin, take an A4 sheet of paper and divide it into three halves. Divide the length of the paper into three parts, and you'll have to cut the paper into three parts. Either use a scale or a scissor to do this. So basically what we're trying to do is cut the paper into a Polaroid sized snap. And if you have owned a Polaroid camera before, you'll know that these snaps are rectangular in shape. So I'm cutting each of these three to form three Polaroid sized sheets of paper. So as you would have probably seen, each of these Polaroid snaps have a white outline. So I'm going to use tape to stick this paper on my board, as well as to make sure that the white outline remains. It's a thin border on the top and on the right and the left, and a fatter border at the bottom where you would write a message reminding you of what the photo was about. So that's why I'm putting more tape at the bottom, and the top, the right and the left, I'm using the tape to cover only a bit of the paper. I'm going to do the same thing on the second paper here as well. So a small border on the top, a small border on the right and left, and a bigger border at the bottom. So we're done with the second one as well. Same thing for the third one. One on top, one on the bottom, one on the left and one on the right. So it's time to start painting. I hope you have your paints ready, a paintbrush and a palette. So first I'm going to be using yellow, orange and red on the first Polaroid painting. I'll be painting the top 1/3 of the paper yellow. You can use a round brush or a flat brush for this, and the size also doesn't matter, but the bigger it is, the easier it will be for you to paint the parts. Now I'll be using orange to paint the middle half, but you can choose to wipe off the yellow or you can choose to continue because it's along the same spectrum. Orange for the middle third, yellow for the upper third, and use your wrist to move from one side to another side and keep going so that your orange and yellow merges. And at the bottom third I'm using red. Move your wrist from left to right, covering the entire breadth of the paper. So now that those three are done, I'm going to be cleaning my brushes because I'll use a different combination of colors for the other Polaroid background. For this painting, I'll be using for the background sky blue and white. So make sure that you have sky blue and white on your palette. So first I'll take sky blue and I will start painting from the bottom. Like I said earlier, if your brush is bigger, it will be easier for you to paint, but it doesn't matter. So I'm painting from down towards the top of the page. And then I'm washing my brush and I'm going to be taking white and trying to merge the blue and the white that is on top. So I'm trying to give it a bit of a ombre effect, or like a shading that goes from blue down all the way to white on top. Make sure that you clean your brush well, or the blue that was previously on your brush will also come on the painting. So the backgrounds for both these Polaroid paintings are complete. The third Polaroid is completely on you. So once we have finished painting these two, you use your own imagination and whatever you like to paint the third one. So now that both the backgrounds are done, I'm starting with the foreground for the first one. First, from the junction between yellow and orange, you draw one straight line, and very close to that, you draw another parallel straight line. And towards the left side of the page, between the junction of orange and red, you draw straight line, and you draw another small parallel straight line. So these are going to be the electricity poles. Then right at the top, you draw two perpendicular lines with dots at the end, which will complete the electricity poles. And I'm going to be drawing a wire that is a straight line, a curved line from the first pole to the second pole. And another wire from the first pole to the second pole. So if you look out and see an electricity wire, you'll probably see a bird sitting on it. So I'm going to be drawing two birds here. It's very simple to draw a bird. You can just copy a circle and like a drop shaped structure, a beak, legs, and I'll probably draw some birds flying in the sky as well. So let me do that right now. Just like how we learned when we were smaller. V-shaped crows far away. So now that I'm done with the first one, I'm going to draw the foreground for the second. The first step is to draw a dot 1 centimeter from the top on the left side and 1 centimeter from the bottom on the left side. Now you draw a vertical line connecting both the dots. So it's a straight line. And now you draw some small lines which connect the edge of the vertical line to the left corner of the Polaroid, the edge of the top part of the vertical line to the upper left corner of the Polaroid. And finally, draw a horizontal line on the top as well as the bottom. So this is going to be, we're trying to create a window over here. So when I look out of the window, I see a lot of greenery. So I'm going to be using the back of my brush to paint the leaves with the technique called as dabbing. So I'll be putting the back of my brush in thick paint and dabbing it on the paper, like basically making dots on the paper, and keep doing it till I'm happy with how the bush looks. So I'm going to continue doing it. I love the way it's turning out using green paint and continuously dabbing. So you can choose to mix different shades of green or even yellow, so that the yellow and the dark green will kind of merge and create different shades of green. So keep doing it. You can pause the video, and when you're happy, you can stop and continue with the next step. So this seems great. I think I'm going to stop with this now. Really love the way it looks. I'm going to let that dry for a while, go back to the first painting, and fill in all the spaces with black. That is the electricity pole and the birds that need to be filled in. So first let me fill in the first electricity pole. If you don't have black paint, you can use a black marker as well for this part, or just use a black pen and fill it in, because there's not much space. You can easily do it. The first electricity pole's done. I'm gonna go and paint the birds now. Yep, the birds are done. Finally, the last electricity pole. This is a very simple and quick step. All done. Okay, I think our first Polaroid painting is complete. So let's go back to the second painting. The greenery is dried. I'm going to paint the bottom part gray, the left part light blue, and the upper part dark blue. So first let me start by making it gray. Take white and a lot of white and very little black, and mix it till you're happy with the gray color you like. If that is too light, you can mix a little more black. Till you're happy with the color. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this color. I'm gonna paint the entire bottom part of the window sill gray. This is a lot more easier if you have a flat brush, but even a round brush will do. So now that the gray part is done, for the left part of the window sill, I'm going to paint blue, but a little lighter blue. So I'm going to take this blue, that's ultramarine blue, and add just a little white to it so that the blue becomes slightly lighter. Yeah, and that is fine. So I'm going to paint the left part, this blue. This is a really simple step, easier with a flat brush, but quite simple with a round brush as well. So now that the left part is done, we'll paint the top dark blue without mixing it with any white. Yeah, all the three. So I'm taking a pen and I think I'm going to draw a few birds in the sky, just like I'd done on the other painting. V-shaped structures like you did when you were very, very small. So that's nice. Now I'm going to draw the railing for this balcony, window, seal. 2 lines right at the bottom. Leave little space, and parallel to it I'm going to draw another line. And I'm going to use a black marker to darken this. And finally, I'll be drawing the railing. That is vertical lines on the entire area. And that's it. Looks beautiful. Absolutely love it. For the third Polaroid, feel free to do whatever makes you happy. Any painting that you like that show a memory of your adventures. And now when everything is dried, it's time for you to finally remove the paper tape and marvel at your amazing work. Be careful while removing the paper tape. Try not to tear anything. Now that's turning out really, really nice. Wow. Awesome. Love it. It looks incredibly beautiful. You can write whatever you want in that white space. Let me remove the second Polaroid as well. Wow. Write something in the blank space and I don't know, send it in the postcard or keep it as memory or hang it somewhere or stick it behind your bed. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great day.